Boker Tov, Sabaha Ihar, and Aline, champions. Today is Wednesday, September 30th, and we have three countries that we're talking about in this morning message. The first country, Israel, which gives us the greeting of Boker Tov, and the third country of Palestine, which gives us the greeting of Aline. These are two countries that exist on the same piece of land, and they've been fighting for a very long time over this land. Israel claims that the holy city of Jerusalem, which is important to the Judaism faith, has very significant meaning to them. The people of Palestine of the Islamic faith also claim that there's a lot of historical need in the city of Jerusalem for them to practice their religion. And because of this, they've been fighting for a very, very long time. The third country, which gives us the greeting of Sabaha Ihar, is the country of Jordan, which in all of the countries in the Middle East, all the Arabic countries in the Middle East, this is the most peaceful of all the countries. There's been a lot of fighting, and we'll talk more about the history of the fighting later in this year when we learn about the history of Islam and the history of the Middle Ages and how the Crusades came about, bringing a lot of fighting to that area. But that's later in this year with our CKLA books. For today, speaking of countries that have been fighting for a long time, perhaps they could listen to this quote, the same quote we've been listening to this week. A lot of problems in the world would disappear if we talk to each other instead of about each other. And so, past couple days, you've told your family or your friends something that you haven't had a chance to tell them. For today, I want you to think of a teacher, whether it's Mr. Chambers or a teacher that you've had in the past. What's something that you wish you could say to that teacher? Mr. Chambers, again, in 9th grade, I had a history teacher, Miss Kane, and every day I begged her, Miss Kane, can you please let me substitute your class? I can teach this class. I know what I'm doing. And to Miss Kane, I would say, I had no idea what I'm doing. I'm sorry I begged you to do this job over and over again. Teaching is not an easy job, but I see why you stuck through it, why you made it an amazing year for me, and why even when you told me you hated the smell of corn nuts, I brought in the corn nuts just to irritate you with the smell of corn nuts. You still forgave me and still gave me an opportunity to be me, and that made a good impact. There's been plenty of teachers in my life who I wish I could say different things to. Miss Kane's just the first example that came to mind. So maybe there's a teacher, somebody who's helped you in your life who you haven't had an opportunity to say something to. And I want you to say that at least in our morning message. So take time, think about a teacher, think about something that you wish you could say to them, and say it. With that being said, I hope you have an awesome morning. I hope you enjoy listening to Sing Down the Moon, chapters 7 and 8 today. We also have our Math and Focus, our review of chapter 2, or preview of chapter 2, I should say, talking about multiplication and division, some things we covered back in 3rd grade. We reviewed it yesterday, we'll review it today, and then later today we'll finish up. We'll continue working on those rough drafts of our personal narratives. So with that, that's a busy day on our plate. I know this message is getting a little bit long, so I'm going to end this right here. Stay awesome, and I'll talk to you real soon.